Less than 7% of people can answer this question correctly. What about you? If you're not from the UK, an ISA is a tax-free savings account. That bit isn't really important. It doesn't matter that it's in pounds either. Just pretend that it's a dollar sign instead. After all, money's money at the end of the day. Okay, don't use a calculator. Pause this, have a go. All done? According to the outfit that conducted this survey, you're probably wrong. The answer is £400. By the end of this video, you'll know how to quickly answer such a question in the future, as well as understand the math behind it. I will talk about one of the most underused but important financial tools there is out there, the Rule of 72. There's a spreadsheet you can download later in the video to help consolidate your understanding. It's completely free, so keep watching. Hi, I'm Matt. I have 15 years behind me in finance, including stints at 2 top hedge funds, and I'm a CFA charter holder. An article from Michigan State University declares an early understanding of the Rule of 72 is critical to youth financial literacy. So what exactly is the Rule of 72? It's really, really simple. It's an estimate of how long it takes to double your money at a given interest rate. It's the easiest formula. You just divide 72 by that interest rate as a whole number, not as a decimal. And that's it. Let me show you some examples. If you're getting 4% returns on your investment, your money doubles in about 18 years. If you're getting 6% returns per annum on your investment, that's about 12 years. Nothing complicated. Now you may be thinking, bullshit. Does it actually work in real life? And the answer is yes. For typical investment returns between 5 and 10%, the Rule of 72 is remarkably accurate. I'll talk about the numbers behind it in a bit, but first let's discuss why it matters. Why do you care, or why should you care? So we're not naturally good at understanding compound interest. That's why the Rule of 72 is useful. It takes abstract percentages and turns them into real timelines. According to research from Stanford University, understanding concepts like the Rule of 72 is a key component of financial literacy, and that poor financial literacy is a significant problem since it translates into lower financial well-being. How can you actually use this rule in everyday life? Here are my 4 examples. Number 1, comparing investments. Say you're choosing between 2 investment options. Okay, the first one offers 4% returns with lower risk, and another offers 10% returns but with higher risk. The Rule of 72 instantly tells you that at 4% your money doubles in 18 years, and at 10% it doubles in 7. That's almost a third of the time. This can make the risk-reward trade-off more palatable if you can stomach volatility and drawdowns. 2, future planning. Let's say that you're 25 years old and you have 5k in a tax-free account. It's earning about 7% annually. Using the Rule of 72, you can quickly calculate that your money will double roughly every 10 years. That means by the age of 35, you'll have about 10 grand. By 45, 20 grand. By 55, 40 grand. And by the time you're ready to knock it all on the head, 65, you'll have 80 grand. And that's without adding a single penny after that initial 5 grand. Now, fair enough, I saw a comment on another similar, albeit less informative video that said 50-year bullshit. And I have to admit, it did make me laugh. But that is how compounding works. It takes a significant amount of time to really reap the benefits. This is why the emphasis is always to start as early as possible and don't delay. 3, debt. Sadly, the rule works for debt too. If you have a credit card charging 25% interest and you're only making the minimum repayments, then your debt doubles every 3 years. As suddenly, that manageable credit card balance doesn't seem so manageable anymore. So pay that shit down as quickly as possible. 4, inflation. You can also use the Rule of 72 to understand the impact of inflation. If inflation is running at 3% annually, the purchasing power of your money will be cut in half in 24 years. This means that in 24 years' time, your money will only buy half the goods it could do in today's money. This is why keeping all your money in cash is risky. You're guaranteed to lose purchasing power over time. If you have no idea what I'm talking about or how inflation affects your finances, then check out my other video using the link above. Okay, here's the spreadsheet I was talking about earlier. It shows you the various rates on the left-hand side, the exact calculation for finding out how long it takes to double your money. And then we have the rule of thumbs here, 72, the one of which we have been talking about. If you do want to play around with this spreadsheet, it's completely free. You don't have to sign up for anything. I only ask one small favour before you do download it, and that's please click that subscribe button. You can download it from the link in the description section below. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. I'll be grateful for any feedback that you can give me. So thanks very much. If you're inquisitive like me, you want to know where on earth we get 72 from, because it basically just sounds made up. I mean, it sort of is in a way. Okay, let's start with a super important formula in finance. The money that you have today times 1 plus the interest rate to the power of number of years we'd be investing equals the future money that we'll have in N years' time. Now, I know you're already thinking, what the hell is this bit? Well, we'll get to that. First, let's get mathy about it and rewrite it with symbols instead. The money that we have today, we'll just call it the present value. That's the initial amount we start with, times 1 plus R we'll call the interest rate, to the power of N being the number of years that we're investing, equals some future value. Now, the amount of money that we start with doesn't matter, right? We don't care. You will have a different starting amount to someone else. We just care about that amount, whatever it is, doubling. So let's change the future value into 2 times the initial amount, 2 times PV, right? Because we're looking to double our initial investment. Now let's keep things easy. Let our initial amount equal $1. So we're trying to find out how long it takes for that $1 to turn into 2, given a constant growth rate. And we know that 1 times anything is that anything. So we have 1 plus R to the power of N is equal to 2. Now this is the part where you need to know the rules of logs. But firstly, what is a log? A logarithm, log for short, is a number that tells you how many times another number, called the base, is multiplied by itself. So that's also known as the power, the exponent, or the index. So for example, if we have 10 times 10, 10 is the base number here, and it's times by itself twice. So it's 10 to the power of 2. And then we know that that equals 100. But what about 10 to the power of x equal to 1,000? If we don't know the value of the exponent and we want to find it, we apply logs. The above equation can be written as this. It reads as x is the logarithm of 1,000 in base 10. So we say, how many times is 10 multiplied by itself to get 1,000? Yes, 3. Now, there are 2 special cases of logarithms. When the base is 10, as in the example above, you will see this written on the calculator as LG or log. If you can be bothered, try it for yourself. Type in 1,000 and then LG. Another, more important case is the natural logarithm. It's a log with base e. Now, e is a mathematical constant. It's a very, very special number that never ends, but consider it to be 2.718. We don't need to go into the details here, but just take it from me. And this is written as ln on your calculator. Right, back to our finance question. We now know n is the exponent, and to find it, we need to apply the logarithmic function. We apply it to both sides of the equation because whatever we do on one side, we must always do on the other. So now it reads this when we apply ln to both sides. So we have the log of 1 plus r to the power of n is equal to ln2. Now we can solve this, and there are some certain rules to do with logs that I won't go into detail here, but it basically ends up being n times the natural logarithm of 1 plus r is equal to ln2. And we simply solve for n. So we divide through by ln of 1 plus r. This is the exact formula to use if you want to find out how long it takes to double your money at a specific growth rate. Type ln2 into your calculator or a spreadsheet and you get 0.693. Now let's just say the interest rate is 1%. So then we have n is equal to 0.693 divided by ln 1.01. Now ln 1.01 actually equals about 0.01, which is 1%. So if you times the numerator and the denominator by 100, you get 69.3 divided by 1. Let's try it with 2%. 0.693 divided by ln 1.02, and that works out to be 0.693 divided by 0.0198, which again is roughly 2%. So if you times the top and the bottom by 100, you get 69.3 divided by 2. So you're starting to notice a pattern here. But Matt, you say, that's 69. What about 72? Okay, back to the spreadsheet. Now, why 72? We've just discussed that it was 69.3 in the numerator. So it's really, really simple. Someone come up with 72 because, firstly, picking 72 was supposed to be easier to do mental arithmetic. Reason being, from 1 to 20, there are 9 factors, i.e. 9 interest rates out of the 1 to 20 that are factors of 72. So when you divide it by the interest rate, you get a whole number. So it's supposed to be easier in your head, in theory. The other reason is that for the interest rates that are most common, that's 5 to 10% here, you'll see that actually the rule of 72 is the most accurate out of the 3. So they're the 2 main reasons why. It's supposed to be easier for mental arithmetic, and also it's more accurate for the most common interest rates. So that's your reason. Now, I should mention some of the limitations of the rule of 72. It works best for interest rates between 5 and 10%. Though to be honest, the errors aren't that significant for higher rates. See, when you're dealing in years, a month either way won't really matter. Also, the rule assumes a constant rate of return, which rarely happens in real life. After all, markets fluctuate. So your actual returns will vary year to year. And the rule doesn't account for fees, taxes, or inflation that I just spoke about a moment ago, all of which affect your real returns. Now, what I want you to do is check your retirement and savings accounts. Use this rule to work out how long it will take you to double your money based on the returns you've seen to date. Are these returns in line with your expectations? Are you going to reach your financial goals if you continue what you're doing? If no, then consider what needs to change. If you want to seek higher returns and you're willing to take on more risk, then consider tech stocks, tech indices, or cryptocurrencies. Again, these are volatile and risky investments with large drawdowns. So make sure you're comfortable with the levels of risk that they pose before jumping in. So use the rule of 72 for quick planning and build intuition, but when making major financial decisions, use more precise tools and consult with a financial professional. If you've got any value whatsoever out of this video and you want more impartial information, then please subscribe. Only takes you a second and I really, really appreciate it. It lets me know that I'm on the right track. I'll see you in the next video.